Okay, this time we're looking at question 17, and it says a recent study reported that 28% of shoppers only review one page when searching online for product information. A random sample of 100 shoppers was randomly selected. What is the probability that between 20 and 30 of these shoppers only review one page when searching online? This is similar to question 16, but this time we want to know the probability between two numbers. So let's go ahead and write down the information that we know. We know that the probability is 0.28, and we know that N, our sample, is 100, and we know that we're going to use our formula sheet. Let's look at how to get to your formula sheet. If, let's see, if you go to your modules and you scroll down until you get to the proctored exam information and click on your formula sheet, it will pull your formula sheet up. So what we're looking for is we're looking at probability, and the first thing that we have to do is calculate the standard error of the proportion. And then we're going to use the z-score formula, and we'll also use the sample proportion. We'll have to calculate that. So let's just go through the steps. So the first step is to calculate the standard error of the proportion. So the standard error of the proportion equals the square root of p times 1 minus p over N. So we know that P is 0.28 times 1 minus 0.28, and N is 100. So if we put that into our calculator, our standard error of the proportion is 0.0449. So that is step 1. And then step 2 is going to be to calculate our z-scores, but we're going to have to do 2 z-scores because we want to know the probability between 20 and 30. So we have to do a z-score for each of those. First, we need to calculate our sample proportion for the 20. So that would be 20 out of 100, and then which is 0.20, and then we'll do another one over here for the 30. So 30 over 100, which would be 0.30. Now we can calculate our z-scores for each. So we have a little bit of extra work to do on this problem. So our z-score is our sample proportion minus our sample probability minus our or a sample proportion minus p over the standard error of the proportion. So we are saying 0.20 minus p, which is given in the problem, 0.28, over the standard error, which is in step 1. So that will be the same for both. And when you calculate that, you will get negative 1.78. Over here, if we calculate, we will get 0.30 minus 0.28 over our 0.0449. Same formula, but this time we're doing it for the 30. And when you put that in your calculator, you will get 0.45. So what we have to do is we have to look up the probabilities of each of these associated with these two numbers. So I'm going to move this up now that we've worked it, and let's go find the probability associated with these two numbers. So you will go back to your formula sheet and you will go down. First, we're going to look up the negative 1.78. So here's negative 1.7. Let's see if I can get this in the negative 1.7 is right here, and then go over till you get to 8, and you see that that is 0.0375. So let's go ahead and put that down. 0.0375. So what does this number tell us? It tells us the probability of 20 or fewer would be 0.0375. So that includes anything in this area. Okay, but we are not wanting to know 20 or fewer, but we need that information because now we need to look up our 30 or fewer, and that's going to give us the area all the way up to the 30. So it's going to include that yellow too. So how will we find that area for 30 or fewer? We will use the 0.45. And we will go on our table, but we need to go to positive. So let's go to the next table and go to 0.4 and go over to 0.45, and we get 0.6736. So 0.6736 is the probability of 30 or fewer. But we don't want the probability of 30 or fewer. We want to get between 20 and 30. So the way that we do that is we take the probability of 30 or fewer, and we want to subtract anything, let me get a different color here. Anything we don't want. We don't want this little area right here. So we know the area up to 20 is the 0.0375. So if we subtract that out, that will give us the probability of between 20 and 30. So when we subtract the area out that we don't want, we will get 0.6361, and that would be our final answer. So let's go back and look at our problem and make sure we understand what we're answering here. What is the probability that between 20 and 30 of these shoppers will review one page? The probability that between 20 and 30 will view one page is 0.6736, which is a pretty high probability that this is going to happen. And that would be your final answer. Let me know if you have any questions.